Hey everyone, welcome back to the Comic Countdown. After a little hiatus, we're back in action. Now, first off, we're gonna ignore everything that happened in the 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks that I was gone. Comic book reviews, blah. Everything else, blah, it's gone. Whatever. Moving on. Which kind of works in my favor because I don't have to put a lot of effort into this episode because not a lot happened this week. With that in mind, let's jump straight into the news, and here we go. There's really only one thing that really happened this week, and that was the Marvel teasers. And if you know anything about comic book news, is that Marvel likes to release teasers for everything, ever, in existence. The teasers are for their new, Marvel Now relaunch of sorts happening this November, and they're basically one-word adjectives of a superhero. That's cool, you know. Yeah. So for Iron Man, they had Invincible. For Thor, they had Worthy. For Captain America, they had Soldier. For Fantastic Four, they had Family. For FF, they had Extended. For X-Men Legacy, they had the word Legacy. And my favorite, for Deadpool, they had Chimichangas. This also showed off some of the creators for the new books, which I'm super excited for some of them. Mark Waid is taking over Hulk, and he said over Twitter that if you're enjoying Daredevil, you're gonna love Hulk. So that's something to really look forward to. So yeah, that's really the only news that happened this week. So we're gonna move on and go straight to the reviews, and yeah.
Action Comics number 12. No, I'm not enjoying this series right now. I'm not enjoying Grant Morrison's take on Superman. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not. The stories is just confusing, sporadic, uninteresting, and overall stupid. Some of the stuff he puts in here is just, whatever, I don't really care. So I found this story very uninteresting and boring. Sure, there can be some enjoyment found in it, but overall I just didn't really care at all what anything was happening, and it showed off some of the stupid things Superman can do, and it was just kind of, what? That said, this book gets a 6 out of 10. AVX number 9. This series has a knack of starting out acts very strongly. It happened in Act 2 and with issue 0 at the beginning, and this issue is no different from starting the final act. It's a Spider-Man-centric story and has a very interesting tone about whenever you're an Avenger, no matter what happens, there's a time where you step up to the plate and you become the hero of the story. And that's pretty much what happens to Spider-Man. It has some great character work for Spider-Man and some of the other characters, and adds an interesting dynamic for the Phoenix. I can't wait to see how this story ends, and I'm looking forward to some action-packed final issues. This book gets an 8.5 out of 10. Avenging Spider-Man number 10. Now this book isn't much on characterization, it's more about the fun, action-packed adventure of the book, and that's perfectly fine, and that's what this book gave me. This book tells a story about a robotic woman of some kind. It's an interesting story, and it's all put together, and the characters are all spoken very well and very realistic as how they talk, and the ending of the story was touching, and it was good overall, and I really enjoyed where the story took it. This book gets a 8 out of 10. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe number 1. Holy crap, this is a violent book. Seriously, it's blood and gore the whole way through, and it's amazing. Deadpool snaps, and he goes ballistic. It's a great dynamic for the character, and I really look forward to how this series goes about. Also, this is how I think all miniseries should go. It's a 4-issue miniseries, but an issue comes out each week of this month, which makes it so much better on me. So now I don't have to drag out the story for a couple months, and I can get this nice little miniseries all in 1 month and be done with it. Seriously, they should do this more often. Anyways, this is a violent, action-packed book that if you love violence and blood and gore, you need to pick up this book immediately. This book gets an 8 out of 10. Hawkeye number 1. picking up this book, I thought it'd be an Avenger action book with Hawkeye taking on some supervillains. But no, it was Hawkeye taking on street crime, which was a very interesting idea. It focuses on Hawkeye about how he's just a normal dude, and opening scene has him breaking everything in his body by falling on a car. It's just pitch perfect for the character. And he doesn't go after any supervillains. He goes after street level junk, and it's very down to earth and very an interesting take on the character. And it was a fun ride from start to finish. If you didn't pick up this book, I highly recommend you do it. It is my pick of the week for the best book. This book gets a 9 out of 10. So thanks for watching this week's episode of Comic Countdown, and be back next week for next week's episode. Also, this is my new comic channel where I'll be pushing out a lot of comic book stuff like top 10s or top 5s videos and some vlogs about random topics in the comic industry, so look out for that in the coming weeks. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.